All right, thank you for your patience. Been a busy weekend, adulting, doing adult things, lifing. Yeah, I was playing Cyberpunk 2077. But also doing other stuff. Is Cyberpunk 2077 buggier than the program that built 2020 for us? Almost. Also, side note, at the end, the very end of editing, we're talking hours of work. I noticed this stain right here on my shirt, and I can't unsee it. Now you can't either. But hey, gotta fill out those TPS reports. I cannot believe that reference is in Star Wars. I mean, TPS reports are a real thing. Might not be a reference. But you know they were all thinking it. But anyhow, time to talk about Mando, last Friday's episode of Mando, that is. That would be chapter 15 or season 2, episode 7. Second to the last. And let's face it, it was what we thought it was going to be, which is the Bill Burr show. Let's be real about it. It was. So anyhow, Mando, Cara Dune, and Fett, as he's referred to, which made me feel good because my brother, we all called him Fett, right? Anyhow, they go to this prison planet, pretty much like Rurapente, but no snow. He's just working on machines, doing whatever. They're like, oh, we need to fill the time. I don't know, work on that piece of junk. And they're like, we need your help. So he's like, okay, cool. So now they have a crew. Also, Boba Fett has his newly painted armor. It looks all sleek, not gonna lie. It looks a little too clean for me. I guess it's just weird. I've never seen Boba Fett's armor without scuffs and bruises and scratched up paint. And granted, in Mandalorian, it was scratches and scuffs to the 10th degree. But now he's like, look at that. Psst, new paint job. But the paint's too clean. Anyhow, it's pretty minuscule. What did I say? It's weird. But anyhow, they have to drive this transport that's pretty much carrying galactic nitroglycerin. They have to take it into this base and then go to this little computer and, all right, get the information. Now they know where to find Moff Gideon, in which there's a scuffle, a throwdown, a fight, which I do like the fact that Mando started getting rocked, like his armor started getting beaten up and chipped. It kind of shows that he got lazy with his impervious Mandalorian armor. I mean, they made jokes about the fact that this guy can just take all the hits, but when you're able to take all those hits, you start getting lazy. It's like in Mortal Kombat 11, you do the Towers of Time and you have all your augments, so you have shields for 4 hits, your hits hit harder, your special moves hit harder. You're just farming augments, consumables, gear. I mean, with Rambo, I can kill a dude in 1 hit. It's no problem. Then you fight online in the Combat League and you're like, oh, I got lazy off those augments. I shouldn't do that so much if I'm gonna go here every once in a while. It's the same thing, you get lazy. I do like the fact that this show showed that with Mando. Dude took some hits that he probably thought, hey, my armor's, oh yeah, this isn't that armor. So anyhow, they have to go in there and Bill Burr was gonna do it, because the computer has to see your face and he's like, I served under that guy, I can't do it, you have to do it. And Mando actually does it. He takes off the helmet, which it shows how close he is with the kid. I also feel like it's kind of a tradition at this point. I suppose 1 episode every season is going to have him take off his helmet. But it does show the process of someone questioning his religion, He's now met Mandalorians who are like, you don't take off your helmet? Oh, you're one of those Mandalorians. You're one of the crazies. So he's like, shut up. We're the true Mandalorians. So he's been shown by other Mandalorians that you don't have to actually be that stringent on the rules. And the first season, it was a robot, so there was a loophole there. In this season, he's doing it because he genuinely cares about Grogu, which is something that's what this episode did for me. See, before I always saw Mando as Grogu's babysitter, He's tasked with carrying this kid. Yes, they have a connection. Grogu really loves it. Wow, I've called him Grogu, not Baby Yoda. Point is, Grogu always liked Mando, and he has that connection with Mando, as Ahsoka said. But in this episode, Grogu's referred to as, oh, they took his kid. This was the episode that I really felt like Mando was Grogu's father. Which is a great theme, because the whole theme of this show with Mando's character is the fact that family and bloodline are different things. But this was the episode I really felt like Mando accepted the fact that he is a father to Grogu. That's how Grogu sees it, and that's how he sees it. So yeah, not surprising. He takes off the helmet, he's like, I'll do it for my son. It's fine. Then they have a sit down with the biggest asshole looking son of a bitch ever. It was bothering me for a while. I was like, where have I seen this dude? A slew of Rob Zombie movies? Absolutely. But he either killed the Waynes or he was Grand Moff Tarkin's lapdog. Point is, the guy just looks like trouble. Also, yeah, the Killed the Waynes reference. He was Joe Chill in Batman Begins. Anyhow, they sit down, they're all talking about, yeah, the Empire this, the Empire that. And Bill Burr just starts monologuing like, yeah, you remember the Battle of Serenity Valley? We lost a lot of good men out there. Mando's like, don't do it, dude, don't do it. You're like, this guy's gonna eat shit. This officer is just gonna get shot. I thought he was gonna shoot him under the table, like Han Solo did with Greedo. No, he just bam in the chest, and then enter the firefight. The firefight begins. They get out of there. Slave 1 picks him up and he drops that charge, and when he dropped that seismic charge, You recognize it. Because in Attack of the Clones, it's what? Top 3 it might be 2. It's a very memorable thing from episode 2. So when that charge dropped, I audibly out loud in my living room went, bam. Sure enough, bam, and they get away. Again, another piece of the member berries, but I dug it. I did like it. I mean, this episode has a few of the member berry soup, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that Boba Fett's like, they might recognize my face if I go in. I was like, logistically, that's true. Some of the older commanders might be like, wait a minute, didn't you serve under me? You know, when you were a clone trooper? I recognize that mug. And in the end, Mando sends a message to Moff Gideon, which, thank you, internet, for all the Taken memes, because it's essentially that. He's just like, I will find you, and I will kill you. That's right, Papa Bear is coming. And he is pissed. And I am left with that feeling of uncertainty for the next episode, the season finale of season 2. Because logistically, you look at it, I mean, Mando's coming for Grogu. He's coming for him. I don't think Moff Gideon should die because Bo-Katan's looking for Moff Gideon. And if Moff Gideon just dies, well, there goes that. Unless Bo-Katan comes into the next episode. But still, I'd like to see more of a search with her looking for him. And now you find the irony, or at least the humor, in the fact that if Bo-Katan had just stuck around Mando and was like, hey, I'll join you for this series, for this season anyway, she'd have found Moff Gideon a lot faster. I mean, the Empire's looking for Grogu. She's looking for Moff Gideon. Logic would say she'd be like, well, I'll stick around you and the bait. But I hope she's having fun on her quest. But in the episode before this, Mando's ship was blown up. That thing was just destroyed. We're not just like, oh, it might be pieced back together. It was Humpty Dumpty got a big laser blast from an Imperial cruiser. Yes, comment section. Anyhow, there was a smoking crater, and that was that. So Mando has no ship, and him traveling around in the Slave One, it doesn't work. The dude needs another ship, which maybe that'll happen. Maybe he'll just go to Moff Gideon's wallet after he beats his ass. He's like, hey, I'm taking this. I'm buying a new ship with your credits. But logistically, Mando's ship was blown up. The show doesn't really work. It won't work long-term for Mando to be a passenger in the Slave One. And now Boba Fett, it's been retconned. It was like Boba Fett and Jango Fett were Mandalorians, and then they weren't Mandalorians. Then Jango Fett was a foundling, which I guess means Boba Fett is now a Mandalorian, because I guess Mandalorian status is passed down like USAA insurance? I didn't know that. I just didn't. I'm not even making jokes. I didn't know that if someone's a Mandalorian, if they have a kid, regardless, that kid's now a Mandalorian? I don't know. In which, now that Grogu is essentially like Mando's son and Mando was a foundling, does that mean Grogu is a Jedi Mandalorian? Shit. I mean, that's probably the coolest Star Wars title you can ever have. Ever. Anyhow, I'm a little concerned because the possibility does exist that Mando gets killed and Boba Fett takes over the show, and it being called The Mandalorian makes sense, and that might be the reason for the retcon of the retcon. Also, the reason that Mando's ship got blown up. I don't want that to happen. I don't. I think that would be lazy, cheap, and I think his character deserves more than that. I mean, essentially, his show has deserved more than it's gotten, because right now his show feels like I've said before, it feels like a springboard to springboard other shows, and that's kind of the point of The Mandalorian. I would like them to focus it up and make the show more about him for the sake of him and Grogu. They're the heart of the show. They're the soul of the show. So I'd like season 3 to really concentrate on them, not so much, hey, we need to do what we need to do to springboard other shows off of this show. That said, I do like the fact that I have that uneasy feeling, because that gives me the feeling of I don't know what's going to happen in the finale. Mando could die. Gideon could die. I don't want either to die. Or Mando could get Grogu back. Mando and Gideon, they both live. But now we start seeing what Moff Gideon's plan is, and Mando's like, we got to stop him. So we'll see. But for the next episode, the finale of season 2, I am nervous. It's kind of a cool feeling. I just don't want anyone to die. All right, so last Friday's episode of The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 15, Chapter 17, no. Season 2, Episode 7, or Chapter 15 of the show as a whole. Well, what did you think? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.